following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Trade What You See with your host, Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, good afternoon, folks, and we're going to start with the gold and silver markets. And because we have some exciting things happening here in the gold, we've rallied $34 off of our bottom. Silver has hardly moved. That's rather startling because usually they run hand in hand, but as you can see from the enclosed chart, silver is only up about 20 cents off the bottom, which is hardly taking out the highs of the previous day, whereas gold is running pretty good. We're getting up to that 1194 level, which makes it $34 off the bottom, and $34 is the harmonic number in gold. So if anything's going to stop it, it would be around that 1194 level in gold. That doesn't mean it necessarily will, but we'll see. When we were on the show on Monday, they were getting ready to have the funeral for silver there at the CME in Chicago, but unfortunately they had to postpone it as gold took off and silver has been pulled along with it. So as long as we stay above those lows of 1590 in silver, I think we've got a pretty good chance of some more of a rally happening. That's the way it looks from the cheap seats. Anyway, I wanted to, we have a first question that we had in the den was about American Airlines. There's been a lot of talk about the airlines recently, and I wanted to put the chart for American Airlines in because it is making a very interesting three drive to a top pattern going back over the last several months. The highs from November through December were exactly equal to what we hit just a few days ago. And unfortunately, boys and girls, something is wrong with this chart. I don't know. Disregard that one. That has bad data in it. Sorry, I'll have to double check that one because it is certainly. I think they've changed the symbol in it, as I recall. It used to be AA is Alcoa Aluminum. I think AAL is American Airlines Group, but I'm not sure. I'll double check that at the break and see if I can get the right information up there for you. Now, we've got a couple of other interesting charts that look that need our attention. One of them is in the wheat. We have a situation in wheat where we're making a really nice ABCD pattern in a bear market. And give me a second here to update this to make sure I have the data correct, and then we'll see where we are, because we're almost exactly at the 382 with an ABCD pattern. So you want to keep an eye on the wheat market. This is the first major ABCD pattern that we've had in wheat up around the 542, 543 level. That completes the 382 retracement for the high we made way back in January. So this is going to be anything above 550 in wheat would tell you that you're probably going to go a great deal higher. That's the key to looking at some of these things. The stock market's interesting here as we come into the opening, because last night we hit the exact 382 retracements in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. They hit spot on to the exact numbers. That was the highs of the day that we made here late last night. Now, whether we take those out early this morning or not, when the buying comes in the next 20 or 30 minutes, we'll see if that's going to be the case. Because if it does that, that tells us that that bottom that came in on Monday was probably a pretty good bottom. And, well, actually came in Tuesday late, or no, early Tuesday. Gosh, I lose track of time. I travel so much. One of those days, Monday or Tuesday, it made a bottom, and now we're coming into Mercury coming into direct today. So this should be an interesting situation with the markets, the way they're setting up right now. But we did hit those 382 retracements, and there's a pretty good volatility. The S&P's moved up 20-some points off the bottom, which is not a big deal. It dropped 50 points, so going back 20 makes it a 382 retracement. So the early morning situation in the market, if they don't run these things really strong right after the open in the first hour or so, I believe you could see a lot more sell-off to the downside in the stock market. We have a situation also for you Fibonacci lovers. We've got a real interesting one in the bond market. Well, let's do notes first because that's the larger of the markets. And I wanted to point out to you that we've come down and we made a 786 retracement. And we are looking at, right at where it hit last night, early this morning down here at this 124 level and change in the notes. Where there are two ABCD patterns in there. So this is where the notes and bonds should circle the wagons and have a potential for a pretty good rally. It's a bear market, but we still are oversold by a long shot. And, we think that we are going to get a pretty good rally. In the Treasury bonds, they've been the weaker of the group, and we have an interesting 1.618 expansion coming in here in the bonds down at this 147.10 level. We're trading, just about 147 and change right now, so we could get down to that 147.10. And that should be a pretty good bottom for a bounce. The last bounce we had in the bonds was 7 points. So if we were to get a 7-point rally back in this, it would take us right back to the 61% retracement of the move that started back in June, early June. Actually, it started on May 31st. So we want to watch that if we start to get this rally. The bonds are definitely in a bear market. I don't see how you can say that they're not. I mean, if you just look at the interest rate structure, the interest rates are going higher. We keep saying that. No one seems to be listening, but they are going higher. The German bond has been hit really bad also. So there's a great deal of selling over there, and so you have an extremely oversold market, which is certainly acceptable, to some type of a rally from these levels without any trouble at all. At least that's the way it looks like, from an area that we're watching anyway. We have another commodity that's very, very interesting here, and that is the crude oil market. And I just want to show you the whole complex because this is what I'm watching, just to give you an idea of what we're seeing here. Because we are seeing a situation where we're making almost new highs, but we're making it in a perfect ABCD format. And those are usually the kinds that, they stop right where they're supposed to. So right around this $62 per barrel level in crude oil, it might have a little bit of a trouble. Now, we've taken out the highs from June, which were at 61.40. We got up to 61.85. We're trading around 61.63 right now. So they're not actually, running away yet. But we have to, keep this as a possibility that this market could reverse from this level. If you did just a normal time count from AB in time to CD in time, that brings you to today. And this is basically a long-term chart that we're looking at here in crude. So, 4-hour chart. So that goes over quite a few days. So the AB leg is equal in time and the CD leg is equal in time and price to the AB. That makes it a perfectly symmetrical ABCD pattern, which is one of the better ones. So you'd want to be watching for potential reversal in crude oil today. That's an important one to watch. Now, if we do the same thing with the gasoline futures, I'll show you bring that up a little bit because we've done the same thing here in gasoline futures, but they're a little stronger. They've already taken out the highs from from last month and are continuing to go higher. We're almost up at the 1.27 level of this one. Hold on one second here, and we'll put in the butterfly pattern that we see forming here, because we're almost there to the butterfly pattern in the gasoline futures. Gasoline futures were the strongest to begin with when the market bottomed. The gasoline futures were the strongest, and they continue to be the strongest, and it's made new highs now. And remember, folks, when this thing was trading, when oil was down at $42 a barrel, we were hearing about $30 barrel oil and $20 barrel oil. And you get on the tube today and listen to TFNN, let's try that again. Listen to CNBC or Bloomberg. You're hearing people talk about $80 and $100 barrel oil. So you can't get them to buy it at 40, but boy, at 70 and 80, I guess they want it. So that's the nature of how the markets operate. So just watch crude oil and gasoline, because they have a potential, because of these ABCD patterns forming at new highs, that's where the market can reverse from without any trouble at all. That's the key to keeping an eye on those, as far as where you want to be at those spots. That's what I'm at least that's what I'm thinking anyway. We'll have to let the market decide what we're going to see what we're going to do with this, but there's a very strong possibility that we could get a reversal here in both crude oil and gasoline, either today or tomorrow. So on the tomorrow show, we'll follow through with it. But those are the ones that we're keeping an eye on, right away. So that's the real key. Now, a few weeks ago, I posted the chart for the British pound, and we have a big pattern in the British pound happening right now. Let's just get the daily up here, and we'll let you take a look at it. This is not for the faint of heart, because it's we're really we're going up quite a bit right now, and but it's a Gartley pattern in a bear market, and so we'll see if it's going to hold up here around. It should be somewhere between the 50% and 61% retracement. We're right at the 50% retracement right now, so another 50 or 60 pips, you would be right into the situation where you would be at the 61% retracement of the British pound off the whole move. The euro today took out the highs of May 11th by just 2 or 3 pips, and then broke 100 pips, and now it's in the process of rallying back. So the dollar is still under some pressure, but it's trying to hold its own. But as of now, it's giving up the ghost. That could change momentarily with these things coming out of the different countries that we hear, and also from Mario Draghi. Every time they talk about Greece or something else, it's always a new story of some kind. So these are the things that you want to remember, that these things are very, very news sensitive, and you've got to be extremely careful of these things, because of the fact of the news, being so very, very very, very important. Like I mentioned before, we did hit the exact 382 retracement in these futures last night and early this morning. Whether we power through here or not, I don't know. In really, really strong bear markets, you only get a day-and-a-half or 2-day correction, and that could be what could be happening now. That could be the situation, what you're looking at that point. So we're going to have Norm Winsky on at the break, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about the Mercury going into direct motion today, and look at some of the things that he's looking at in the market. So that'll be at the half-hour break. We're almost ready for our first break here. We got stocks getting ready to open. There should be a little buying on the opening, because the futures are up 6 or 7 points, and we'll see up 7, see the Dow's up 50, and we've got the NASDAQ up about 10, so those are holding up relatively well. We'll be right back after these few words.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming, see high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, we have a question about the Japanese yen. It had a lot of movement last night. If you'll give me a second here, I will pull up the chart for it. I happened to be in front of the machine when it happened, and I thought it was a bad tick, but in fact it was, and it's had a tremendous move to the downside. This is upside for the yen versus the dollar, but we're going to do it yen versus dollar, and you'll be able to see the move that we had. We had a pretty big ABCD move come to the downside. I'll do the hourly first, and then what I'll do is I'll put in the daily so you can see, where we came off of some of these things. This is going back for quite a ways. If you give me 1 second here till I can, there, we want to get this out of the way here. And I got to try to update the chart because this overnight stuff can really get quite a bit. This is the biggest 3-day down move we've had in the dollar yen in a very long time. What we're doing now is we're setting at the 382 retracement of the low from March. This move that we've had over the last 4 days equals the same movement that we had in March that took almost the whole month of March for the market to move down 5 points. This so far in 5 days we've moved 5 points. That is telling you that you're going to go down farther. The 61% retracement on this move would take you down another 150 pips to the downside, down around the 121 level in the Japanese yen. And with this long ranging bar that we have today, it certainly looks like that's what we want to be. That's what we want to be looking at. That's what it appears to be doing anyway. So that's about it. The stocks are getting ready to open here. It's going to be interesting to see how much buying comes in at the market. So if it does, go blasting through these numbers, if you go above 2090 in the S&P futures and above 4460 in the NASDAQ, then you're probably going to have more of a rally, and you'll have more people, coming in to take a look at this from the long side. But it's still early, and of course when the buying comes in, you just never know whether it's going to explode or just slow down and not do very much at all. So this is what we're facing this morning. From this, we've had a pretty good volatility today in the euro. The euro has broke 100 points off the high, broke 130 points off the high, and has now rallied back 61% of that move to the downside. But the pound has been the leader of the pack. It's been by far the stronger of those two commodities, or forex cross rates today, and so the pound is definitely leading. Evidently, there was some news coming out of the UK. I don't know what it was. I really don't know. All I heard was there was news from the UK that made the pound move quite a bit, and I'm not a news person, so all I wanted to do is to see how it reacted to it, and that's what we're seeing, is this reaction. Okay. The gold market. The gold market has had a high today of $11.92. That's within $2 of the $34 move off the bottom. Silver is lagging so badly, folks. I just can't really believe that the silver is doing so poorly. We can barely take out the highs of the last few days, and we're taking out the highs of last week in the gold and stuff. So it's really really a powerful move in gold, but not so much in the silver. So as long as silver can hold above those move above those levels, we should be in pretty good shape. Would be my assumption. Okay. We're going to have Norm Winski on at the break. We're certainly going to be enjoyable to hear what he always has some good information for us. Question that someone had about the bonds. We're looking at September bonds, and that number that we were looking at is one full point away from where we are right now. 148.08 is where we're trading in the September bonds. And remember, we're switching over from June to September already. And so what we're looking at now is September bonds at 147.10. That's our price level. Now the notes have hit the number already. They've hit it, held the number, bounced just a tiny little bit, but that's really what we're watching here, with this particular thing on the Treasury bond. So those are the keys to watch out for. We're going to have a little break here for the half hour, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have Norm Winski on from Astro Trends, and then we will have a good time just visiting with him. So we'll see what's happening, and okay, that's about it. I think that was all I wanted to cover for the first half hour of the show. And we get back, we will definitely talk with Norm Winski from Astro Trends.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're like me, you see the world's emerging nations as a very real opportunity, as these countries and their economies are developing right before our eyes. And you can rest assured that Everbank has spotted this opportunity too. In fact, they've just released the second running of their 5-year Market Safe Futures Economy CD. This is a CD that could really deliver, but you only have until June 11th to take advantage. Consider the facts. If the future economy's currencies beat the US dollar over the CD term, you'll get all of the upside at maturity. And should they lose, no worries. There's zero downside risk here, as you get back 100% of your deposited principal. Don't miss out. The June 11th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN-CD for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN-CD. Everbank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
TFNN has just announced a brand new morning lineup that is geared specifically for traders in this volatile traders market. Every morning at 8 a.m., John Logan starts things off with his daily program, The Global Market Pulse. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento trades the market during the market open Monday through Friday on Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom O'Brien hosts the Money Masters for the hour, and Basil Chapman hosts his Tiger Technicians Hour at 11 a.m. From 8 a.m. till noon every market day, these traders are with you as they provide up-to-the-second market information so that you can make the most educated and profitable trades possible. The new TFNN morning lineup is happening right now. Tune in to see for yourself what kind of actionable trading discussion they have each morning, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m., live only on Tiger TV at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have Norm Winsky from Astro Trends on the line. Norm, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you perfectly, and what I've done is I've posted your first chart that you sent me on the review, which shows the stock chart. Do you want to start with that and tell us? You've got our attention, so fire away and tell us what you're looking at, what you're seeing, and what you're knowing.
Okay, so I'd just recap from when I was last on in mid-May. I asked you to come on the show there. We're seeing interesting convergence of cycles. I do the look at the planets and so forth, and so we had a interesting pattern for the 18th and 19th of May, a rare, unusual convergence of a new moon and Mercury turning retrograde. This has to do with what's called station points, the Mercury retrograde part. I think you were talking about that a little bit earlier on the program here. And what that is due to the relative motion of the Earth. As we look out at the other planets, it appears that the planets look like they stop their motion and reverse the direction. Now, this is like when you're driving in your car at 60 and somebody passes you doing 70. If you glance out your window, you might get the impression that you're actually going backwards by 10 miles an hour, when in fact your speedometer says you're doing 60. The planets, it's relative motion, so it looks like the planets stop and reverse at certain times. When they stop and reverse their direction, that's called a station point, and that has a very good batting average for forecasting change in trends in the market. Now, back on the 18th, 19th of May, that was also unusual that we would have Mercury turning retrograde. That happens about 3 times a year. and that would happen within one trading day of a new moon. And so I went back and researched that and found that there were several significant turning points in the past when that happened. And one of the ones that really stood out, well, we had January this year, and then one other one that stands out is October the 11th of 2007. That was a high day in 2007. So another interesting thing that happened at that time. Oh, by the way, and the results are that the market topped, the Dow Jones topped on the 19th. And I was looking for a change in trend within one day of that. And the S&P topped, the futures topped overnight between the 19th and the 20th, early morning on the 20th. And also the futures, S&P mini futures, got to 2134, and they had been trading at that time at about $3 discount to the cash. I was looking for 2138 as a major Fibonacci target. And so basically the cash got to about 2137. So we got within $1 of a major Fibonacci target within our big time window for the month of May.
Well, I think you're spot on with that. Now, what I'd like to do is to show the folks the chart that you just talked about of how accurate you were during the month, and it shows your planetary aspects, how the market followed along, just absolutely spot on. So you should have a feather in your cap for that one. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Now, what would you like to go to next?
I was just going to comment that I had these. If you got my letter, or maybe you saw it on your program there, I had these key date. If you're doing short-term trading, every couple days or so, I had these key dates. I highlighted the 19th, 20, 21, and that was right around the top there. And so on those key dates, I hit 9 out of 13 good dates for just a hair under 70% accuracy on the batting average, And then we're going to go to the chart on the.
You're on today, and we have a key date today, as I recall.
Right, but we're going to the next page now, Larry, the one you asked for, with the results for the planetary index for May, and you can see there that I had the blue line is the forecast line topping right around the 18th, 19th, and that's the black bars of the S&P 500, and that topped on the day session on the 20th, so it's pretty close.
It certainly was very, very close.
Yep, and now moving ahead. We also talked about corn because we were interested in the grains, and that Mercury has a connection with the grains, and so I talked about corn. And we were looking for a mid-month high on the corn, and I think we got that, and hit 5 out of 8 good dates on the short-term trading factor. And then we had the soybeans, and we hit 6 out of 8 good dates for 75% on the soybeans there.
Now these are all planetary aspects, correct? Like Mercury conjunct the Sun and whatever that you might be watching, huh? Do you find one? Do you find one particular aspect that has a better influence on the markets? Like my teacher, Dr. Ruth Miller, always told me that Uranus had a really strong affinity for making the market move in corn, like Moon was squared Uranus, or something like that. Mercury squared Uranus. That these would cause some really volatile turning points in corn. Years ago, I used to follow that, but since I don't trade corn too much anymore, I just wondered what your experience is on that.
I have a whole astrological system of certain signs go with certain planets and certain signs. It's all astrologically based and tested. So just for example, probably the most obvious is Taurus the bull is cattle, right? So it's I call it first grade logic, right? That's kind of how I crack the astrological code for these. One day I was just kind of trying to figure these things out. And Taurus the bull popped into my head, and I said, gee, I wonder if that has anything to do with cattle. I went and tested it, and that worked out pretty well. So that's sort of basic astrological principles, So we'll move ahead now, Larry. I know you're eager to look into the future here, get our telescope out and look into the future.
Okay. Which one would you like to go to now?
I'm on my page 4 now, where all the new stuff is, looking into the future starting today on the 10th. We have a aspect for a change in trend for the U.S., which involves U.S. financials such as stocks, T-bonds, and dollar. And this has an emphasis because it is to the moon of the U.S. chart. That's the natal chart where the planets were when the U.S. Independence Day, July 4th, 1776. That gives an emphasis to the U.S. dollar, so possible change in trend on the dollar. I looked at the chart last night for the dollar, and it wasn't exciting because it was kind of in the middle of the range there. I think it's probably still there now, isn't it? Kind of about 95.
It moved earlier because the euro took out last week's high by a few ticks, and then broke 100 and some pips. So it's having some pretty good volatility, but there's nothing dramatic as of yet. But
right on the bigger
that could
picture
change
there,
by the end of the day.
middle. Isn't it on the bigger picture, kind of in the middle of the recent range, though, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So
in the middle of the
I like it when
range.
they get to the. I like when they get to the extremes. You're at the top of the channel, the bottom of the channel. Up against resistance or down against support. Then you might have a good trade entry. So the big excitement coming up here now. That's coming up here tomorrow night, Thursday night, the 11th, and into Friday, and it might even be in the weekend. We have another big combo here with Mercury turning direct, as you mentioned earlier in the program, and also Neptune turning retrograde. This is very unusual for two planets to be having station points, changing direction from the Earth's point of view within just a few hours. So the night of the 11th into the early morning of the Friday the 12th. We have two planets changing direction. Mercury has to do with communications, transportation, stocks, and grains. And Neptune is mostly oil. So watch those. Those are the markets we're going to be focused on, and the stock market, of course. And so that's what we're going to be mostly talking about here, looking ahead. We have some other factors here.
Can I interrupt you for just 1 second,
Sure,
Norm? I want to
absolutely.
ask you some more about two planets. I frankly can't remember, two planets going retrograde within a day or two. I'm sure it happens occasionally, but have you statistically looked at what happens when that occurs?
Because it is so rare, it'd be hard to find. I'd have to have
that's what I was afraid of. Yeah.
I don't have a computer program that
no reason to be afraid of it.
Put a search in like that, so I don't know.
Well, I do. I have the computer program to do it. It's just I don't have the time or I need Shane Smolian to help me with that, and I'll ask him about that. But it's so rare that it's I don't know, it'd be worth even following or not. I remember when the market.
I guess you could plug in. I guess you could plug in for within one trading day, so that kind of one day or something.
Yeah. Norm, I remember very vividly back in August of 1987, you were talking about the potential for a top because of the 5-planet conjunction that was occurring on August 25th, which was the exact date. And I think most of those planets were in Taurus at that time, weren't they?
I think they were in Virgo.
Oh, Virgo. Okay. Well, I remember that you were talking about it.
Think of the time of year you're at. You're leaving.
Oh, it was August. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And the neat thing about that, Larry, is the Mayans forecasted that 400 years in advance.
Yeah, but
that was the end.
Yeah, but the options that they had already expired.
The Mayan options.
I don't know that Mayan calendar gives me more trouble.
Seriously, the Mayans had that date as the end of an era in their calendar because.
That was harmonic convergence, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's keep moving ahead so we don't run out of time, right?
What page are we?
So now
we got time. Here. Hey, we got the bills paid for the rest of the month. We got time. Which page are we on now?
All right, let's go to page 5.
And that would be the.
With the stocks, we're looking ahead here, and I showed you, gave you a little sneak peek into the next couple of days, and I'm looking for these red arrows I put on these charts with the white box. Shows you where the planets are either turning direct, that's a station point, or turning retrograde. Okay, that's also a station point, right? We show the symbols here for Mercury, SD, stationary direct in Gemini, Neptune, SR, stationary retrograde in Pisces, and that's where we'd be looking for a change in trend. Let me give you a little warning here about Neptune. Neptune is the planet of illusions. It's an illusionist. It's tricky, and it will Neptune. When you're looking at your charts, there will often when you're up close, right on top of it, right on top of the turning point, will make you think that the market's doing just the opposite of what's doing. It's like watching a magician. Look over here, and then it's just the opposite of what you think. And so that's often you'll get W bottoms or M tops where it's zigzagging back and forth, and it'll it'll tend to fool you. So anyway, just thought I'd throw out a little warning there. So you can see how well we've been tracking here so far. There's the blue line is the forecast. The black bar is the Dow Jones in this case. And it's been tracking pretty well. And now we are due for some turn within one trading day of Friday the 12th.
Okay, now someone in the den has asked a question now. What we're expecting now is we have Mercury is going to direct motion tomorrow.
Yep.
And then we have Neptune going retrograde the day after?
No, just a few hours later.
A few hours later. Okay, so it happens within hours then.
It's overnight between the 11th and the 12th.
A retrograde for Neptune and direct for Mercury.
That's correct. All overnight between the 11th and the 12th.
Okay, so we should have some pretty good action here. We'll see if this will determine whether you ever be a guest on.
Okay.
No, I'm just shaking your tree a little bit, Norman.
And if it works out, you'll have to pay me double, right?
Yeah, well, you're getting the checks I send you, aren't you?
Yeah, well, you'll double what you're paying me now, right?
I could even triple it. Not a problem.
There you go. Wow. Fantastic.
Okay, we have
So and the other big window coming up, just kind of fast forwarding here into the future, is the other big window for this is the in my opinion, probably potentially the biggest window of the month. And by the way, let me give you a little money management here. If this doesn't work out, the market doesn't turn by like Monday, then it's probably not going to, and we have an acceleration. We're going to just keep going for the rest of the month. But if we get oversold here, which is I'm hoping for, because we're certainly not near the highs of the month, and so we're on near the lows of the month now. And that's the way the outer planets, like Jupiter through Pluto, when they do their thing here, that's how it usually works. You're usually within one trading day of the high or the low of the month, and so I'm hoping that we get that kind of setup. If we get that, then we'd be looking for a low. But if it doesn't work out by like one day, then get out. Use your stops and get out. Don't
absolutely.
Don't get stuck.
Always have to use stops, otherwise you're not playing with the full deck if you're not doing that.
The other big planetary phenomena for the month is we had a huge energy cluster over the weekend into June 22. And on the morning of June 22, we had the classic, you're a Bradley fan, Bradley emphasizes in his book, Jupiter trine Uranus, Jupiter 120 degrees to Uranus. That's been a major factor historically in the economic cycle, 41-month business cycle, and the stock market. So there's another big deal here. So those are probably the two big windows, are the 12th and the 22nd of the month, especially for the stock market. That also, Uranus also has to do with your trading copper. That's also a factor for Uranus is a factor for copper, which is historically tied to the business cycle. Looking ahead here's my S&P chart on page 6. You can see the support resistance lines here. And we're now down to, let's see, we're back up here today. We got down to a little support area here. These are all as of last night's close. And so you got down a little support here, and I guess we're having a little bounce now. I hope we roll over here now and go down and retest the lows there by late Thursday or Friday. And here's the bigger picture, the 10-minute chart as of last night's close. I'm scrolling down now. Now we're going to page 7, crude oil. Let's talk about crude oil because it's Neptune time, right? So we'd like to see the crude oil get to an extreme. Here's the chart here with the channel lines.
Norm, hold on. We got to pay a few bills here, so bear with me, and we'll have you back right after the break.
Okay.
Stay with us, please.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we have Norm Winsky from AstroTrends. Norm, we've only got about 3 minutes, so why don't you just give us a synopsis of what you're potentially looking at here over these next few days, especially in crude oil and stocks.
Yes, sir. Quick recap. We're looking at the next Friday, plus or minus one trading day. Looking for a change in trend for the stocks, grains, and crude oil. When we went to the break there, we were just starting to talk about the crude oil. On the chart here, if you have that up on the screen, that's on page 7, page 7. We're looking at August crude oil. At the top of the channel, looks like about about $67 area there, so we can get to the top of the channel. Right now we're up over $202, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, $2 a barrel, correct.
There you go. So we get up to a little, we like to see this, rally some more into the weekend, or into Friday, I should say. And then you might be looking at a nice trading top. I think is that what you were talking about earlier on the show, Larry?
Yeah, I was looking at a potential, of these ABCD patterns that I look at. I'm seeing it in gasoline, and I'm seeing it in crude oil. And we usually see that at a new high. That usually is not a valid breakout. Of course, you can bust through there relatively easily, but there should be some pretty stiff resistance at $62 a barrel in the oil. Gasoline has went above those highs of the last few weeks. And, it's strange, nobody wanted this stuff when it was $20 a barrel cheaper. Now that it's $20 a barrel more expensive, everybody wants it. So I guess that's the nature of what markets are for. But with this Neptune aspect, this should have some effect on this. But we'll have you back on in a few weeks, Norm, and we'll see. Now, if anybody wants to reach you, why don't you give them your phone number and the way that in fact, the best way is to contact you by phone, isn't it?
Yes, sir. 239. I'm in Florida, USA. 239-594-3939. That's 239-594-3939. You can also reach me on Skype at norm.winski. That's norm.winski on Skype. Just real quick on the corn here, on the grains, looking for a change in trend here, although it might be a little tricky because right at a couple days in Tuesday the 16th, we have a new moon. The grains tend to be lunar sensitive. Just want to say you can get my letter for free, get a free class, and I have 40 years experience, former Chicago floor trader. Looking forward to helping your people.
Okay,
Larry.
We got to run. Listen, thanks a lot, Norman. Good to have you on, my friend.
All right, thanks a lot, Larry.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Thanks.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.